Hello, and thank you for joining me once again for the latest installment of The Vault. My name is Julie Fry, and I'm the curator at Stan Hywet Hall and Gardens. Today we're going to be talking about Cedar Lodge, which is the family's summer home up in Hessel, Michigan on the Upper Peninsula, and house parties. Back in the early 20th century, the Seiberling children were just as interested in dating, meeting people of the opposite sex as we are today, but of course they had a slightly more restricted parameters around how they met people, what was acceptable behavior, being alone with someone of the opposite sex, a little bit more tightly controlled back in the 19-teens and 1920s. One way to kind of get to know someone that you might be interested in was to invite them to a party, similar to today. The Seiberlings, however, did it on a slightly grander scale, where as each of their children was in their teenage and college years, they would be invited to host a house party at Cedar Lodge in Hessel, Michigan during the summer months. So this was done repeatedly, kind of starting in the late 1900s, so 1908, 1909, through the 19-teens. Several different occasions where maybe Fred and Irene would get together, invite a bunch of friends up for a house party. Penny and Virginia would, as they were also very close in age when they got to high school and college age. So a common occurrence, they were often having maybe 10, 15, 20 youngsters would come up. So this was a way they could recreate, they could play sports, eat meals together, and also an opportunity to get to know someone that maybe you were interested in and possibly sneak away and have a little alone time, but still within that structure of being appropriate and having chaperones. So in 1916, at one of the house parties, this is actually an unattributed poem that was written titled Cedar Lodge, but it encapsulates the experience of attending a house party at the Seiberlings' home. There's a little wooded illet that has won our hearts away. Kaginagwa, isle enchanted, anchored here in windswept bay. Kaginagwa with your birches, like coy nymphs upon parade. Kaginagwa with your cedars, which our dwelling house has made. There's the lodge stands, rambling, cozy, living spirit of the place. There from out the world of cities, eagerly we turn our face. House parties, they call these meetings, but in truth, they are much more. Times of making, strengthening friendships, and of casting troubles o'er. Healthy, happy, wholesome playtime, testing strength and wit and skill, bringing back the youth still in us, which please God will never kill. Boating, swimming, shooting, tennis, all the sports that fill our days, all the jokes and games and watchwords, all the views that meet our gaze. Mellow moonlight, flaming sunset, wind-tossed trees and sun-kissed bay, we'll remember and we'll treasure when at last we go away. For at last there comes an ending, time is fleet and life moves fast. Back from out the peaceful Northland, we must turn our steps at last. The Miami is awaiting, Mackinac looms dark afar. There where from the shore last evening we saw crash a falling star. Cedar Lodge, we hate to leave you. How to say our gratitude for your kindly, friendly shelter, for your wholesome, filling food. Hospitality we've known here, of a sort that's far too rare. Courtesy and tact and kindness thrive here in the brisk lake air. Gratitude fills us completely toward our genial, thoughtful host, toward our hostess, she whose gracious presence forms that pleasant coast, where our thoughts like waves returning rush with such a keen delight, toward our clubmate who, like Merlin, cast the spell that brought us here. Cedar Lodge, our last entry, let us come again some year. So thank you for joining me once again for the latest installment of The Vault. I look forward to sharing more again with you soon.